Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh, and good evening to all our viewers and to our lecturers and fellow friends. We are students from UiTM Shah Alam under course AS249, and we would like to present our research findings for our LCC topic. The title of our research is Social Culture Shock Among Students in UiTM. Our team members consist of Syafiq. Say hi.
Hi.
Me, Alif, Faiz,
Hi.
and Kai.
Hi.
Without further ado, we would leave the matters of introduction to Khairuddin.
Okay. My name is Muhammad Khairuddin. I will start about definition. The cultural shock is the feeling, unease of anxiety from the facing unfamiliar situation when moving to a new location or new experience about a new team. Let me explain more. You probably heard the saying about the frog tossed into boiling water. It jumped out immediately to escape the danger. But if the frog is placed in the cold water that slowly heat up and does notice the chain until it fully. Why is this saying is scientific accurately? It's a powerful metaphor for human how react change when we suddenly throw into the new environment like moving to a new city or starting new city. The shock immediately and intensely, but we change. But when change happen gradually, we might not realize how much they affecting us until we feel well met. This is exactly what culture shock is about. For UiTM Shah Alam student, especially those in their first semester, this can manifest in various way like homesickness, difficult adapting to new academic and social routine, or even feeling out of place in diverse campus community. This challenge can impact academic performance, mental health, and overall, overall well-being. Our report our report aim to investigate how prevalent this issue is among students. Understand its impact. Most important, propose practical solution to help this transition to create a more supportive environment for everyone. I pass to next presenter.
Wait eh. My name is Muhammad Syahmi and I been present about reason of culture shock. So we have isolated a few reasons as to why students will face culture shock in UiTM, specifically the Shah Alam campus. Any given student may face a number of these reasons all at once, while others not as much. The time taken for students to fully solve this issue also varies. First, regional culture differences. UiTM is a primarily Bumiputra environment, which means that almost all students are of Malay or indigenous descent. While this may be a reason to assume that all students get along much easier, one has to remember that these students hail from all corners of Malaysia. All 13 states share their own culture, ethnic and dialects. They make communication and adaptation difficult among other things. For example, those who come from Kuala Lumpur who have some difficulty understanding students from Pantai Timur or Sarawakians especially when using their native slang. On the other hand, those from Pantai Timur might have difficulty bonding over food with those from Negeri Sembilan due to preferring sweeter or subtle food over spicy food. This will also pose a challenge later in the dorm, as the food served may be too sweet or too spicy for someone liking. Stereotyping will also be commonplace, which would only widen the gap between students further. Not only that, but the commute to the Shah Alam campus will cause the student living further away from Selangor experience some sort of longing or homesickness toward the familiarity and security of their hometowns. It has been observed that many students call their families at night, sometimes for hours on end, just to update them and chat with familiar voice. This can be considered a type of coping mechanism due to the longing of home. Since most of us are taking our bachelors, we all should have some experience living in dorms. Regardless, it is true that this is many students' first time leaving their home states and coming here. It will take a while to acclimate to the new surrounding and memorize the map of Shah Alam. Many students have shared the sentiment of exploring Shah Alam during the holidays to better familiarize themselves with what the city has to offer. Second slide. Technological differences. Those who hail from more developed areas of Malaysia will be more familiar with the hustle and bustle of the city, as well as the usage of tech in student daily life. Those hailing from more rural areas, on the other hand, would need to play a longer game of catch up just to need to play a longer game. Those hailing from more rural areas, on the other hand, would need to play a longer game of catch up just to stay updated with their peers. Everything transport to handling in assignment and even attendance is semi if not fully digital. The student the sudden influx of new terminology, application and navigation that come with using this digitized system are determined to those unaccustomed to the digital age. Admittedly, some students will still forget the format of their student emails or forget which office to send required document to. Different lecturers also have different teaching style and will different platform from handling assignment. It is up to how flexible and attentive the student it is order to survive. While UiTM does dedicate the first week to learning how all systems work, it is clear that not many students pay attention or remember everything there is to be learned. And last, university culture or university life. University life is significantly different from matriculation or high school due to the lack theory of structure imposed on students. Even though UiTM in specific has a stricter ethics code and dressing guideline compared to the other university, its study schedule is much more free and less routine compared to previous education levels. This newfound freedom can leave students lost on how to spell all this extra time. Students also may be used to lecturers spoon-feeding them, which make the more independent learning style of university much more scary. Students tend to be better equipped at navigating this downtime and ensuring they remain to top score, while others utilize this time to distress from all the workload and spend time with the Speaking of clique, it is said that university is a lonely journey. click and friends coming and going. During the later years, it poses no problem as almost all students would have had found their goals in life and are working toward it. The opposite can be said at the start of their learning journeys. However, lacking direction, it is pivotal for students to latch onto others to help keep them tethered and not lost drifting aimlessly until the end of their learning features. Forming clique is a wholly different problems. Based on first reason, it is clear that differences between culture even among those from the same race is quite vast. And that is not including individual personalities. Some students are brash and uncared, others arrogant and proud. Some are timid, others are downright scary. The dormitory setting process is random at best. And it is guaranteed that roommates will get along with each other. This continuum just for bird of feather to flock with may no yield result on the first day. That's all from me. Thank you.
Test. Next is culture shock phase. The first one is honeymoon. In the honeymoon phase, students find it is exhilarating and fun to step into a new place, such as UiTM. All the sights to see and take in, as well as the sea of people and potential friends, is the worries of student life. The MDS program being held in the first week also contribute to this honeymoon phase. The second phase is crisis. The next phase is crisis, where students learn of the true nature as to what university life is. It is the phase that is most visible to people as culture shock and would throw students into mental and entertainment. Grappling with the new culture and social norms while balancing study in unfamiliar environment as a tall living student, tired and gasping for air during the first few weeks to months of their studies. Next slide. The third phase is adjustment. This phase is followed by the adjustment phase. Over time, students get used to the situation in university and can focus more toward their own studies. Strangers become friends and homework become cake. Slowly but surely, students can navigate university life and familiarize themselves with it. The last phase is bicultural. Finally, the bicultural phase is a state when the student is both acclimate to university culture and the culture of their hometown. This is the phase where students are without any more adaptation issue and can become their own self in the university. Achieving this phase may take years for some people, but it is clear when a student achieve it. Yeah. Next. The next is effect of culture shock. Throughout the phase of the culture shock, students may spend a lot of time and mental energy to adapt, which can cause them to fall behind of the studies and cause much unneeded stress or pressure. Students may have to sacrifice their spare time to get it ahead of the game, which can lower self-esteem too. The adhesiveness caused by anxiety can also cause students to make ill-informed decisions such as elective choice which can hurt their grade. Okay, next I will pass to Alif.
Thank you very much, Syafiq Hakimi, for the quick and concise explanation. All right. We will now move on to my part, which is data collection. Essentially, this research was conducted based on the combined knowledge base of our experiences as well as some other students. Students around the UiTM Shah Alam campus were interviewed with 4 simple questions. They are: number 1, how did you find your first semester in UiTM? Was it easy to adapt to all the new changes in UiTM? How different was it compared to your previous learning experience? Number 2, was it easy to find friends in UiTM? How long did it take? Were there any challenges in making friends while you were here? Question 3, do you find the learning load in UiTM to be overwhelming? How did you overcome the study challenges? Are you confident in your abilities to score? Question 4, do you know what culture shock is? If so, how much do you rate yourself experiencing it? How badly did it affect you? And how did you overcome the challenges faced? The interviews were conducted and the results were combined with our own testimonies as well as observations on the behavior of other students, which means that other than asking around, if we didn't have much time, we would just observe what happens to the students around us as well as check out what's happening with our friends. We look at the population at large. So because of that, our sample size is not only limited but also uncertain, and we don't really have quality samples. So using quantitative results might give a more inaccurate reading than giving gist. Hence, they will summarize the results based on the liberal use of quantifying words such as a lot of, most, some, and few. The descriptions will be testified in detail based on the questions highlighted. Thus, I will begin presenting the interview results. For next slide. For question 1, we have learned that most students found their first semesters challenging, especially early on. The new study ethics and administration made handling in all forms and assignments a challenge, as it took many students a good month or 2 to finally finish their registration process. Thankfully, a large portion of students came prepared due to having experience in previous higher education institutions such as Asasi or matriculation. Still, hiccups do happen along the way. Stuff such as living far away from parents meant that any missing documents would delay the form submissions by a week at best. Catching up with deadlines also posed a problem due to the amount of channels and WhatsApp groups required to be joined. But after the first few months, most students had no problems with catching up with their classes. Still, there are still a few people, myself included, honestly. So, that is question 1. We will move on to question 2. Oh wait, previous slide. Here we can see an image of UiTM students during their registration day. Alright, next slide. Was it easy to find friends in UiTM? Due to having living in dormitories before, most students had no problem looking for new friends. The environment in UiTM is friendly and helpful, as seniors and juniors bond easily. Although I wouldn't deny that there exist a few bad apples. However, the overall experience shows that making friends is easy. Students have reported finding friends within the first few days of university, much before classes have begun. This would be happening during the MDS session, or even before that, when they registered to their respective dormitories. Maturity also plays a heavy role in the friendship making. Given most students are in their early 20s, the elements of teenage angst have all but melted away, and they are firmer in their convictions and concepts of self. This maturity also helps students to make quick friends and acquaintances across the board. Culture differences were met with curiosity and interest instead of disdain, as students exchange slang, cuisine, and experiences from their respective hometowns with their friends. This supportive community greatly reduced the effects of culture shock and allowed students to blend in much easier. Next slide. Here we can see, here this is actually a picture taken from a newspaper of five childhood friends who bonded, who had separated ways during childhood and had bonded again in UiTM, receiving their degrees. Next slide. Question 3. Do you find the learning load in UiTM to be overwhelming? Well, once queried, students have said yes. Just now, people have said that it's quite easy to make friends. Well, the opposite can be said about the learning load. Being a degree, many students have faced sleepless nights and average marks in tests despite being ahead of the curve during their previous education. Thankfully, the leniency of due dates and lectures does help these students in semester 1. However, there will be more to come in later semesters. Since the time of interview is at the end of the semester, the majority of students have had built that confidence and are willing to say that they can make it after this. Even so, many respondents have shown a tired or weary look in their eyes when asked this question. Most students could not have overcome the study challenges without the help of friends and supportive lecturers. Next slide. This is a picture of a UiTM exam hall. Next slide. Question 4. We asked the students, do you know what culture shock is? All respondents are familiar with the concept of culture shock as we have learned from our interviews. Most respondents have said that they faced culture shock only during the first few months and have already acclimated themselves after that. It should be observed that culture shock is less prevalent or sometimes outright dismissed by male students interviewed, most likely due to social expectations. Again, friends and a supportive community of students, as well as helpful staff, had helped alleviate any problems faced by these students. And that's it for the data collection and interpretation. I will now leave the conclusion back to Khairuddin.
Okay, for conclusion, we can derive the issue of the culture shock among semester 1 of student of UiTM Shah Alam. Less exist, but less Dimitra to student performance are anticipated. The student are quick adapt to change, especially due to have going through dormitory life before, as well being older in general compared to back in high school. Then to period experience like dormitory life and increased maturity compared to lab school. Student adapt relatively. However, there's still room for improvement, particularly in reducing duration of culture shock during the critical first month of university life. Initially, like the program MDS, faculty talk, and bonding event have proven effective in helping students familiarize themselves in their new environment and build connection. To further enhance this transition, we propose the implementing a mentor-mentee system where senior guide the junior through their internal months, providing support and easy the adjustment process. This tech can help the students settle in faster and focus on thriving in their academic journey. That's all for my group. Thank you for watching this. Recording.
Alhamdulillah,